United States Championship. John Cena is going to defend against Rusev in a chain match, but not just any chain match. No, no, no. This one's going to take place in Russia, just the same as the Chicago Street Fight's going to be in Chicago. They're going to transport these two to Russia and have just a regular chain match. I guess that's what's going to happen, because WWE specifically not mentioning anything about what the fuck is Russian about this chain match. First, let's talk about that. Come the fuck on. Why do they have to classify this as a Russian chain match? Really? Like, this shouldn't even be a chain match, because those are dumb. But, like, but this is a Russian chain match. Like, these chains are soaked in the blood of Russians or something.
I was going to say, aren't
Really?
Russian chains stronger than normal chains? I think that's why. Because if
Like-
they use a regular chain, it might break. But a Russian chain will hold up to the stress.
Oh, hold on. This is what we have to complain about? Like, all the things that we can complain about.
Yeah, to be
this
fair,
match?
No, we have plenty of other things to complain about. This is just the first one.
Oh, we're just getting started.
Yeah.
as
To be
far
fair, I
as
prefer
far as
a
stuff
Texas
that I've
Bull Rope match.
as far as stuff that I've shit on, stupid as it is, this is classic pro wrestling.
Yeah, well, this really ain't that bad. I don't know what you're getting so bent out about it. This is like the stuff we see all the time. It has been going on for 100 years.
Yeah, and I've hated it through all that time period. I've never liked that. Like,
Tony, you was not born 100 years ago. Fuck you.
I goddamn was.
Oh, my bad.
I was born 102 years ago. God damn it. What the hell, though, with the whole Russian chain thing? Like, is this going to be another situation where, like, the flag match, where it's a flag match that isn't anything to do with a flag match, except for somebody's flag can come down afterward? It's going to be like...
That'd be a bit weird, though. Whoever wins gets to pose with the chain.
Yeah, like, I could see them doing that kind of crap from this now.
No, it's just isn't it like the Texas Bull Rope match, but with a chain?
Yeah, where you
instead?
have to hit
Yeah.
the turnbuckles, I think.
Yep.
It's fucking bullshit. Don't like that sort of match.
I'd rather it just be that they're locked together and they can use the chain to fuck each other up. Like, I like the whole stuff where one guy will be on the other side of the turnbuckle on the outside and fucking pull it, and the guy goes flying into the buckle.
See, you know what? I would kind of like that sort of match, even with the turnbuckles, if it wasn't Cena. Cena doesn't do well in those kind of things. You know how, like, with a standard, like, Street Fighter or something like that, if he gets hit, like, he sells it really odd. Like, he never really acts like it hurts him too much, but he acts like the act of laying down hurts him more than anything else.
Oh man, this is really uncomfortable.
Like, the shot itself doesn't seem like it'll hurt, but then Cena will lay down and just be like, oh man, I'm, like, so tired and weak. And I don't want to see this with a chain match where they do a lot of, like, awkward spots that aren't really that entertaining, but they're supposed to be cool. I think you could have gotten a better chain match or strap match or anything like that out of a lot of other people on the roster. And it's not like these two made it to where, well, you've got to make these two be the chain match because it makes so much more sense. Like, there's nothing that pointed towards the chain match.
Except that Rusev's been attacking John Cena with a chain for the last 3 weeks.
That's only because they wanted to do a chain match.
Well, isn't that why they do stuff? Isn't that how you set a match up, by doing stuff to set the match up?
To an extent, but you
How
could
else do
also...
you set up a chain match besides having someone attack them with a chain?
I think what
What else do
Tony
you want them to do?
think Tony was more referring to the fact that it's not like there's anything that really ever linked Rusev to being a guy that carries a chain around to attack people.
Exactly.
Linked. I get it. Linked.
Oh, that's good. I didn't even catch that. Yeah, there's nothing like... With the Authority angle, we've seen the Authority tons of times, so of course it makes sense for Randy Orton to be like, I don't want the Authority interfering, that's why I'm having a steel cage match. And, well, for the most of the part, all the other matches on the card don't make any sense either. There hasn't been, like, some big precedent with Sheamus and Kiss Me Arse. But there was no, like, chain stuff going on. If John Cena would still have been doing the chain gang thing, carrying around a chain, then, yeah, that would make sense. But, you know,
See when Brock
Undertaker...
Lesnar and The Undertaker did it when it was a biker chain match or whatever the fuck they called it? Well, Taker's a biker, so it made sense.
And Undertaker had, like, the caskets that would come out, so we're going to do a casket match. This was just kind of like, we want to do a chain match. Rusev, start carrying around a chain. And then that'll build up to a chain match after we announce that it's a chain match. And that kind of thing is, like, that's lazy to an extent to me, and it's forgivable if the outcome is great. And, of course, if the outcome is great, then... when we do our review next week, we'll be talking about how great it is. But I haven't liked either of these two matches, and there's nothing that makes me think I'll like this one.
But I can also argue on the other side that, fuck, Rusev's a heel. If he thinks he can beat Cena by knocking him out with a weapon, then sure, grab a fucking chain. And if he thinks that's going to work again, keep hitting him with the chain. So, there's an argument for each side, but it did kind of seem out of nowhere.
I think if you wanted to go with a gimmick match that had something to do with, like, this is a Russian something match, go with things that seem Russian. Like, we were talking about this last week with the whole...
What, fucking vodka on a pole?
Yeah, the old vodka. Like, when they were in, like, Music City and they have a whole bunch of guitars and stuff. Like, I don't really know exactly what you would do with Russian stuff, but then again, he's Bulgarian, so they could do some Bulgarian shit. Throw that in there. But... make it something like that, I mean, if somebody has the gimmick of the concerto and somebody else has the tables gimmick and somebody else has the ladders, you do a tables, ladders, and chairs kind of thing. Somebody has, a shillelagh. Then you've got the shillelagh can be used. Rusev just starts carrying around a chain because that's the chain match that they want to do. And it's a Russian chain because he's billed from Russia and carries it. Like,
see what they should do to make it more Russian. They could have the title in this big wooden doll, and then they fight to go open up the wooden doll, and then they open it, and it's just another wooden doll inside.
You know what?
They have to keep opening the dolls until they get the title.
I would rather enjoy that. Like, as stupid as that sounds intriguing enough. Where I'd be like, how the fuck are they going to pull this off?
Am I the only one who thinks this should just be a submission match?
Exactly. This should have been that because
Definitely.
John Cena and Rusev have submissions that they, make people tap out all the time. So just make it an I Quit match. Make it a submission match. Make it a fucking breaking point match. Whatever you want to call it. You're going to give it 1,000 names.
I don't care about a submission match between those two because I've already seen fucking Rusev tap out. And it wasn't official, but I still saw it. And I've already seen Cena pass out to the submission, so I'm kind of over it.
I don't think they should let them pass out. By the way,
yeah, that's fucking
to me that's
I don't like that.
Maybe like really, really rare situations, but not as often if they've been doing it.
The only time I
what
like
do you
to
do if
see
a guy
passing out was when Hogan passed out to Brock Lesnar's bear hug that one time. That's the only time I've deemed that reasonable.
What about Austin?
Austin's the best example. And you could even have a little bit of leeway and say, like, well, Ken Shamrock's not a real referee, so he just stopped it because he's, he doesn't know the fucking rules.
He thought this was the UFC.
Yeah. That'd be great, though. Like, he stops the
In which
match.
case,
No.
you just stop it for no fucking reason.
He's like, stop, you gotta stop the match because Austin is out of it. And then Jack Tunney was still alive around then, right? Have Tunney come out and he's like, nope, match gotta continue.
Well,
Fuck you, Austin.
No, Jack Tunney was long gone by then. That was Gorilla Monsoon. Matter of fact, that might have been even been Piper.
Wait,
Fuck Pipe.
wasn't Monsoon dead around that time?
No, it was a little bit after.
Nah, he died like right after the bushwhacker that died. I think something died. Actually, I think something did die. One of them.
Yeah, it sure looked like he fucking died.
I love how there's almost a one reference to the fucking bushwhackers now in each episode.
Anybody think that this is going to result in anything but Rusev taking another step down the hierarchy and John Cena getting really nothing more out of it?
Oh, of course, John Cena's going to win. Rusev doesn't have to be pinned or submit, so he's not going to look weak in that regard. But even though a loss will make him look weaker, but John Cena's going to win. Lol, Cena wins again. That's basically all I can see.
I bet you Cena breaks the chain at some point.
But those Russian chains are pretty strong, I've heard.
I bet you Cena breaks the chain when they're pulling each other on opposite ends, and Cena tags the last turnbuckle after that. Rusev just kind of like falls backwards and stumbles around and waits for Cena to tap it.
Here's a question for you guys. How many times do you think someone's going to tap 3 of them and then fail to tap the 4th before the other person wins?
God, at least 6.
Kind of like with the last man standing, they'll get the 9 count.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I could see them doing that many, many, many times.
Yeah,
You know
I
what?
do not
You know
want
what
to see
you
that.
want? You know what you won't be seeing? Payton because he disconnected.
That's true.
Hey.
Yeah, so I'm not looking forward to this match, really, at all. Their Fastlane match was not that interesting. Their WrestleMania match was one of the worst of the night, I thought. No reason to believe that this won't be, too. Which is another reason why this pay-per-view itself is just blah to me. Like, I'm more excited to see what they do with the Intercontinental title situation than anything else that happens on this entire card.
I'm still not over the fact that Cena beat Rusev at WrestleMania. I mean, that was so disappointing. I mean, we all kind of thought it was going to happen, but the Rusev character, they had something going for it. And, you know, like I was hoping they were going to have Reigns eventually beat him, but why does Cena need the rub at all? I mean,
Here's the thing with the story that they booked. The only outcome was for Cena to win.
that's ridiculous. I was so disappointed.
Like, if they had booked it differently, they could have had Rusev go over, but they booked a story that only has one ending.
And they shouldn't have booked themselves into that corner to begin with, because they shouldn't have had that Fastlane match.
Exactly.
Fastlane was like, they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Look at Goldust and the old Road Dust.
I'm fine with that match happening. It shouldn't have fucking sucked the way it did. That's on them.
What, you talking about the Goldust one or the Rusev one?
The Goldust one.
No.
They fucked that match up themselves.
I think that's them and WWE. And I think
Well,
that the Rusev Cena
WWE
thing is the same kind of situation. Like, Rusev and Cena, I don't think have anywhere near as much chemistry as they think that they do.
WWE can't wrestle the match for you. If it sucked, it's on you.
I think that they think that they can.
Well,
Don't you get that kind of impression every once in a while?
I think they're very restricted, but I don't really think that.
As long as this feud doesn't end up like Del Rio and Sheamus, I don't give a fuck. I'm done after this fucking match.
Yeah, this needs to be the end.
God, I hope so.
I would have been more happy to like not have had this feud continue.
Yeah, just make WrestleMania the end of it.
I would have rather had Rusev go away for a while and come back and destroy some big babyface.
Yeah, I would have been down for that.
Yeah.
Or fuck, why not have him destroy a heel?
No, I don't want to see him babyface. I really wouldn't enjoy it.
I would have been interested for at least a week. Haven't been interested in many weeks, so that would have been a step up. One good week instead of lots of blah weeks. I'll take that one good week.
God, you're the worst kind of worst kind.
I'm the best. Kind of worst kind. Any other opinions before we talk about the main event?
Nope.
No.
No.
Oh, now it's sad again. All right, guys. One more match to talk about in part 11. Stay tuned. We will be right back.